See shadow, it's all I know. Tell me now, where did you go? I lost the light, looking your eyes. I come you down, let it shine. I see shadow, it's all I know. Tell me now, where did you go? You go.
Hello, Gemini. I'm sorry. My neighbors are having a birthday party and they're playing R. Kelly's Step in the Name of Love, and for some reason I found that to just be hilarious, and the giggle hit me just as I pressed record. But welcome to your June 2019 reading. I am Princess India. If you are new, welcome. If you're family, welcome back, my friends. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into you guys reading. And the thing I think is hella funny with the intro, I'm still trying to find out what the name of that song is, y'all. And it's not even an intro. That's the thing I think is so funny. I think the song is like so good. That's actually the promo for the cruise that I'm doing in August. And every time I tell someone that, they're shocked. But that song is not actually like a real song. It's like non-copyright music from my music library. So I'm still looking for it on my computer to get the name. But as soon as I get it, I'm gonna let y'all know. But I just thought that was funny. I even said intro, but that's totally the promo for the cruise. So, info on that on the website. But anywho, let's jump into you guys' cards. First, we're going to look at the energy between you as well as your person of interest. Then we're going to look into you guys' energies as well as your person of interest energies. In the event that you're a cross watcher, you're probably going to resonate more with the Geminis that are subscribed to me, and your person of interest on their person of interest. Well, not your person of interest. The Gemini you're cross-watching for more on the side of the person of interest. Come on, dagnabbit. So we're going to jump right in and see what's going on with you guys. We're going to ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for my Geminis for the first 15 days of June. Please, Spirit, anything they need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that come to the forefront in this here reading. And as always, I thank you in advance because I know you get the word, Spirit. Y'all know what's up. So let's see. Energy between you and your person of interest. Okay. Any day now. Trust me, it's coming. Yeah. Oh, 3 of Swords. Goodness gracious. Bottom of the deck, we have 4 of Swords. Interesting. So you guys are healing after a heartbreak. And I got another narrative. Another narrative. Okay, 2 different people. First group of people, it's a disappointment in reference to a relationship and you're trying to recover from that. Others of you, it's almost like a jealousy thing. So I don't know if it's a person that you used to date and maybe they're dating someone else now and it's making you feel some type of way. Because I get a vibe like, almost, okay, like what I'm seeing is like a person who's at home in the dark, crying, sad, and like looking at social media and like seeing the person living and doing stuff and like being hurt by that, you know? But the thing that I want to call attention to is your thought space. And the fact that when we're in spaces like that, it's a form of self-abuse. So it's more or less that there's a disappointment that came about between you and the person. But it's the individual's energy I'm picking up on that has to be aware of the fact that it's your thought space that's now causing this. It's no longer the situation. So it's like the situation was a one-time thing. It's something you experienced, and yes, it hurt. but this hurt being perpetuated, it's being perpetuated by your thought space. So it's ruminating over the situation. You know, what is it about them? What could I have done differently? You know, self-loathing, things like that, wanting to go back and change things, where it's becoming like a form of like self-abuse in a sense. Because when we mull over the past, it's unfair because, you know, not even God can change the past. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel a person who's withdrawn and grieving. Now, first cards that we have for my Geminis is, or cross-watcher, is the Ace of Swords. So hopefully what I just told you was the truth that you needed. But let's see what else is going on with you all. Ace of Swords. Yeah, I feel like if it's not me, how egotistical is that? If it's not me, the truth of the matter is that there needs to be a level of truth telling and truth spoken to oneself. So I can already tell you that in the first part of June, we're going to be mastering our thought space, right? Because you look at the sword, the suit of swords, it's a double-edged sword. There's a light side, there's a dark side. It's more or less learning a lesson intricately related to the power of your mind and how, one of my clients always says, thoughts are things, right? So a lot of what it is that we're experiencing is not necessarily contingent upon the experience itself, but rather how the experiencer is experiencing it. And all of that, whether it's the light side of the sword or the dark side of the sword, whether it's love, whether it's fear, is contingent upon whether or not you're using the light or the dark side of the sword, right? And sword meaning your thought space, right? So that's what I can tell you first and foremost is going to be the most important thing this month. Ooh, next, now y'all got two aces. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And I'm seeing this more or less, I look at the Pentacles as like, dang dog, Spirit is really getting y'all butt today. This is, like how I said, thoughts are things. Looking at the Ace of Pentacles, that's more or less the physical manifestation of your thought space. Now, that's the main thing Spirit is trying to drive home this month, is taking that into account. How are your thoughts manifesting into form in your life, right? If you look around your life, like say if we go back to this energy between the two of you, and we just fixate like on this heartbreak, pulling back, not talking to anyone, just, you know, trying to detox and so on and so forth. Which another thing that I think about is in that Four of Swords moment is when you do get the Ace of Swords. It's like when you find your truth post heartbreak. So I feel like this is going to be a huge like revelatory month for Geminis already, right? I feel like once you guys gain that clarity, that's when this Ace of Pentacles comes in, right? But this is something that's also going to take work, right? Because it's just simply a seed. So what you do with this Ace of Swords going forward is what's going to be the determining factor, right? So it's almost as if you're being offered a new beginning to kind of start over post something that was disappointing. But I guess you would say the catch is more or less, okay, so you're going to have this new opportunity to rebuild something. Are we going to make the same mistakes that we've made before in how we're thinking about things? God, it's really horrible today. I totally feel me like Hunchback of Notre Dame over here. But yeah, that's what it's really going to be about. It's like you have the opportunity to build something amazing, but are we going to approach it from that same mental space that we usually do, if that makes sense? These cards ain't playing today, babe. Whoa. And then we have the Page of Wands. I look at this more or less in a sense of advice. I feel like I'm being bullied right now. I'm feeling this more or less as a sense of advice. When it comes to how you guys are going to move forward, It's 3 elements that are going to be utilized in the month of June. And that's going to be your thought space, seeing how that manifests into form. And as well as with the Page of Wands, it's going in the direction of what, as I always say, titillates your fancy, right? It's what sets your soul on fire. It's what's of utmost importance to you. And if not knowing what that is, it's taking time to figure that out. Because more or less, you're being given, trying not to set my house on fire. More or less, you're being given an opportunity to do something different here, right? Being given an opportunity to start anew. There's an energy block, because y'all know I don't even be doing stuff like this on camera, but I feel it. It's like I'm speaking about it and I feel it coming up. Got to clear this space. What y'all got going on, Gemini? I'm just saying, we ain't got time. I think it's that little sad energy right there. All right. So anywho, I apologize for having to do that. But anyway, I feel what the whole thing is here, it's more or less showing you where you have gone wrong prior to. So it's almost as if this opportunity has been given to you before, but it's one or two things. It's either using the dark side of the sword, right? And thinking about the situation in a negative space, being self-loathing, so on and so forth. Or it's you not standing in alignment with what's ideal for you. And for a lot of people, it may be because you've never really considered that. Because I'm feeling it more of, and this is going to sound crazy, not knowing that I had that option. It's like me being comfortable with taking what's on offer because I didn't know that I could ask for something differently than that, if that makes sense. And now this is letting you know, if you don't know what it is that you would, give up everything to go in the direction of, it's more or less taking this month to figure that out, right? To cultivate that within yourself so you can live in a more empowered state. And things like this, whether it be disappointments or what have you. And now Spirit is bringing me to jealousy. Okay. Jealousy is interlinked with a self-defeating mindset, in the sense that, because you have good jealousy and you have bad jealousy. And I tell this to people all the time, because I actually love jealousy, to be quite honest. Let me disclaimer that. All right? Jealousy, good jealousy, can be utilized as a motivator, right? Channel it properly. Meaning, if I'm jealous of someone, and meaning good jealousy, meaning I admire them, I respect their craft, this person, like Oprah, right? So if I said, like, okay, I'm so jealous of Oprah, like, I'm so jealous of her life. Not that, like bad jealousy of, like, who is she? Who does she think she is? What's the big deal about Oprah, right? So it's not like that. It's more or less like, man, I really respect and admire her, and I want to be like her when I grow up. So now that becomes my motivator. If I look at that, she's gotten these particular accolades, I'm going to try to get those accolades and one more than she did, because it's like a healthy competition and a motivator, right? Now, what I'm seeing here, it's more or less that darker side of jealousy, where it ends up becoming poisonous, to where it's attacking oneself with it. Now, where this can be turned around, and I say this a lot, is if we were to use jealousy in a healthy way, if you look at people that you're jealous of and you're honest with yourself of why it is you're jealous of them, right? So like if we use the Oprah figure, right? Then we would make a list of all of those things specifically about Oprah that we're jealous of, right? So if it's that, I don't know, Oprah got a Stedman, you know what I'm saying? Well, you ain't got no control over whether or not you can get a Stedman, because that involves another person's will. So let's focus on what we can do, right? So if it's that, she has 2 dogs. It's like, all right, you want 2 dogs. It's like, what can you do to get 2 dogs, right? Do you need to make more money? Do you need to move into an apartment or a house that allows you to have dogs? You know what I mean? And it's like making a plan to achieve those things to get what it is that you want, right? And how Spirit is showing this to me is it's more or less intricately related with a worth issue, because it's a jealousy, like, and this would be like that person who's kind of watching somebody else's life, whether it be an ex-partner, friend, what have you. It's being jealous, right? And I know that's like a trigger word. Or allowing yourself to feel bad for how this person is living is because it's a mindset that says that you can't have that. So for some people, that jealousy can turn into envy, to where they start to hate the person and want to destroy them, right? Or the person can turn that inward and self-destruct, right? And like beat themselves up. So for some people, they'll try to harm the person, hurt the person, defame the person, talk negative about the person behind their back. You know, just try to remove the shine from them. And then you have other people who internalize, and they'll internalize that anger on themselves. So the key is to identify that mindset and work to heal that specific place. Because if you set your mind that you can never achieve that specific thing, that becomes that self-sabotatory energy, that defeatist mindset, the lack mentality, where your mind inadvertently prevents you from ever having it, because you've already made the decision where you are that you could never. And what I feel like Spirit is telling you guys overall is that you can have it, but it's more you need to do the work in order to get into that frequency of having it, if that makes sense. So on to your person of interest. I hope that makes sense. Whoa. All right. First card we have for them is the Ten of Wands in reverse. Then we have the Knight of Wands. That's interesting. Got a whole lot of Wands energy over here. They're mastering that suit, goddamn. But they're releasing burdens. The person over here, it seems as if they're solutions oriented, if that makes sense. It's them feeling overwhelmed, or something became very cumbersome to them, and it's more or less them making a decision to start a journey to find solutions to their perceived problem. Whoa, that makes sense. That's interesting. And they have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Well, I mean, Knight of Pentacles there says everything I just said is in theory, so they're not actually doing anything. Okay, buddy. So in theory, they're wanting to release their burdens and go in the direction of, you know, solutions, right? And getting into alignment for what's in their highest good. But with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, they're not doing anything, you know? But they feel it. It's not doing anything about it. It's always nice. Always nice. What burden is being released, Spirit? Oh no, I didn't want to use this deck. That's interesting. Like to see that. Looked like y'all was getting y'all life together for 2 seconds, and then it was over. But they're not doing that, no. Okay. And the vibe I get with this person, I feel that they, what's the word? What's the word? Impulsive. I get the vibe that they're very impulsive. Like, they don't think much before they do things. It's more or less like living your life to, like, living your life trying to scratch an itch. Right? Like, you got an itch, and your life is a repeated pattern of getting that itch scratched, if that makes sense. So there's never really a plan of action. There's never really an end goal. It's just the fact that it's like, that would literally be the definition of someone who lives like completely in their lower energy, because your entire life would be fixated on ego-driven quests that have a great deal to do with fulfilling sensations, if that makes sense. What is the Ten of Wands in reverse about, Spirit? What is that about? Oh, okay. Whoa. Ten of Cups in reverse. Yikes. Okay. So an unfulfilling emotional connection. What is the Knight of Wands about? Whoa. Okay, that is too many cards. We're not playing them games today, Spirit. No, we're not. Not today. No, indeed. What is the Knight of Wands about? One card would be nice. Not the whole deck. Knight of Wands in reverse. That's interesting. Oh. Whoa. Oh, wow. Oh, these cards on it today. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is interesting. They felt overburdened by more or less like a family or a relationship being in disarray. And the thing that, so this is all in consideration phase, right? So this is more or less like yet another itch for them. But the whole thing is there's no cooperation or reciprocity in the connection. Because I mean, literally any relationship that's in this kind of state right here, the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, like that's not good. But at the same time, I feel like this has a lot to do with money. I feel like this has a lot to do with money. So almost as if, wow. If we think about it, like I said, like in theory, like, so, okay. In theory, it would be, I'm with someone, they're telling me I need to get a job. And that's like so cumbersome. So because of all of this pressure for me to perform or to be this person or to do these things that are being asked of me, it's more or less wanting to relinquish the responsibility of that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even say that it's like, but it's like they're not doing anything. So it's like being aware that and I'm trying to get the words for this because it's like I see it, because it's like it's a gap in between the two. So it's like a person is saying something and the person is resonating. Like, you don't have a job. I know I don't have a job. Right? I know I don't have a job. Then there's a gap here. And then it's like, I want to run. But I don't know what this gap is that Spirit is showing me. What is that? Like a block, maybe? So it's like the person understands what's being told to them and they agree. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not connecting the two. So and I guess the frustration from the person on the outside speaking to them would be in the fact that they aren't making that connection, because it seems like the person's just being an a-hole. But it's like they understand, like, I know I don't have a job. I don't have a job. I know I don't have a job, but why do you keep telling me that I don't have a job? Because you're not doing anything. And it's almost like in their mind, it's like, I am. Because remember how I started with these two cards. I said it's like this person is releasing burdens, right? And going out in the direction of what it is that they want, like trying to find solutions to their problems. Now, think about how sure I sounded about that until this Knight of Pentacles in reverse showed up. Because the energy felt to me like that's what they're doing. But the Knight of Pentacles in reverse says to me, oh, they ain't doing nothing. So it's like, in theory, right? Now, I don't want to go as deep as saying that the mind is a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? You can fantasize about something all day to the point that you start believing your own damn lies. It gets that real. But then it's like I'm feeling something else with this person, and this is going to be very, very, very small amount of people. I feel like a military vibe. Like somebody who may have been deployed and came back. And like since they came back, it's just them being in this isolated kind of state. or them not quite being how they were before. And that's like a small number of people. And the thing I want to say with that is, if they're not talking to someone, I think they may need to talk to someone, because that void that I feel between these two mindsets, that might be something that needs to be looked at, you know? Post-traumatic stress disorder or something along those lines, depression, anything like that. Because it's something that Spirit is showing me that's in between these two mindsets. It's something in between that's stopping the two from connecting. And I don't know what it is, because it looks like a formless void to me. Like it's like a black space in between these two ideas, and like a connection can't be made to the two. So like I say, with this person, in theory, they're really doing something. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why don't you see that I'm doing something, but they're physically not? And I hope that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But that's one thing. But I think just generally overall, to bring us back to the general population, this would be a person who, it's like a lot is going on in their inner world. They're just not doing anything about it. You know, it's like they're not they're not mending the fences. So even if this isn't financial, and this is just working together, like cooperation and give and take in a relationship, it's like, it's almost like I caused this problem, but I don't want to take personal responsibility for it, is the vibe that I get. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing anything to change the fact that this relationship is unequal, faulty foundation. Everyone in it is emotionally upset, but it's like, I'm not doing anything to fix it. It's easier for me to just release the burden. But it's like them not seeing that they were a part in this, if that makes sense. It's almost like blaming, like the person, like if this is somebody that you're with, it would be like them blaming you for the reason why things are the way that they are, and not really seeing how they contributed to it, not trying to see how they contributed to it, and wanting to just release all burdens in relation to it, right? But yet, even with that, they're still not doing anything. Just saying. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the dice of resonance. Oh no. It's a confusing situation. I'm more concerned about the first person I talked about, though. Because I feel with them, like that first person, I feel with them like they're helpless to this. You know, like it's something else that's going on in their head that's blocking them. It's not them just being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? But with the other person, it's just them being childish. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, we're going to go over to the Lurkers Lounge on Vimeo, and we're going to take a little deeper look into, I might have to look at both of these people, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to look at both of them, because I really feel this is two different people that's over here. It's one person that's kind of at the will of their situation, and it's another person that's just an asshole. So, lazy. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to look at both of them over there on Vimeo and the Lurkers Lounge. If you're about it, the link is below. Follow me over there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go ahead and toss out these dice of resonance. And if you want to ask a yes or no question, go ahead and pause me now. Get ready, get ready. I don't interpret these. Y'all know all that by now. I just toss them out. Whatever, you know, comes out, whatever. All right. All right. We have Sagittarius. We have Cancer. We have coworker boss. We have female or Venus. And the answer to your question is no. So Sagittarius, Cancer, coworker boss, Venus or female. And the answer to your question is no. But it has been a pleasure, my wonderful Gemini. Follow me over to Vimeo if you're about that life. If not, I love your freaking face. And I'll see you soon and later. Deuces.
Energy. About to get in and fuck up the industry.